Today is the 30th of November 2023, and this will be our 9th video since we started looking at some possible exam questions, okay? And all the questions we've done so far are exam questions, okay? I've added a few bits, but all of them are exam questions, okay? Thank you everyone who have subscribed to our channel, okay? I appreciate it a lot, okay? Please, if you haven't already, can you consider subscribing, sharing, liking, and following us, okay? I'll appreciate it a lot. And if the account is not yours, please ask permission from the account holder or open your own account, because when we upload videos, then you will get your notification and then you can watch it whenever you like, and share and like, because some people might just watch it, some people might need it to help them understand a few bits, okay? So I encourage you to do that. I normally write, please follow my notes/scripts, okay? This is maths. It's not like a story that you can watch whilst you do other stuff, okay? And I try not to go beyond some minutes, okay, so that I don't lose you. So please, especially your attention span, please. So if you want to watch it, I'll appreciate it if you just take that time to watch one video, even if it's one video, watch it. And then if you have a similar question that you are struggling with, go and solve it. If you get stuck, come back and watch where you think you need help on, okay? Or watch again the whole thing, because normally I explain it, okay? And then go back and solve it, okay? If you do that 3 times, you'll be able to solve that question. So if it shows up in an exam, then you'll be able to answer it. Beware of scammers, okay? Please, if you're a scammer, just stop it, okay? Thank you very much. Watch last video for recap, okay? Because there are questions. The questions are not like continuously on showing one topic linking to the other, okay? The question might link itself where you might have a clue from the first part to solve the other one, okay? So please just watch last video for recap. It will show you the question. I've given explanation why I solve it that way, okay? Our starter for today is expand the following, okay? So our first expansion, 5 into brackets 3y minus 2. 5 times 3y. Okay, so 5 is going to multiply everything in the bracket. Okay, we've done this. Okay, 5 will not just multiply 3y. It will multiply 3y. It will take consideration of the sign, okay, the negative or the positive sign, and then it will multiply 2 as well. So 5 times 3y is 15y minus 5 times 2 minus 2 will be minus 10. Okay. Second one, 4 into bracket y plus 2. Again, 4 will multiply everything in the bracket. So 4 times y is 8. 4 times y is 4y. This is where you should follow my notes. Okay, and then 4 times 2 is 8. Our third one, 2 is going to multiply everything in the bracket. Okay, so 2 times y will be 2y. 2 times minus 6 will be 12y. Will be minus 12. Okay, 2 times minus 6 will be 12. Okay, so your answer will be 2y minus 12. 4. 3 into bracket s plus 7. So 3 is going to multiply everything in the bracket. So 3 times x will be 3x. 3 times 7 will be 21. 5. 7 into bracket s plus y. So 7 times x will be 7x plus 7 times y will be 7y. Okay. 2 into bracket 2 minus y. So 2 times 2 will be 4 minus, okay, then it's a minus sign, minus 2 times y will be 2y. 7. 8 into bracket a minus 3b. So 8 times a will be 8a minus 8 times minus 3b will be 24b. The last one, a into bracket 2 minus 3y. So a times 2 will be 2a minus a times minus 3y will be 3ay. Okay. Remember this one here, 4 into bracket 4 plus y. So this is 4y plus 8. Okay. So whatever is outside of the bracket multiplies everything in the bracket. You have to take note of the sign as well. Now let's look at our exam question. Okay. Now, I always wanted to say to you, if you go into an exam room whilst the examiners are distributing the paper, and you are not allowed to look at the question. Don't get still there doing nothing. There are instructions in front of the exam booklet, okay, that you should try and read, okay. The chances are, if you are in a school or in a setting, they might be giving you possible exam questions, so you might be familiar with some of these things they write in front, okay. But if you don't have that 2 to 5 minutes that they are using to distribute the exam paper, that you are not allowed to open your paper, use it to read the instructions in front of the paper. It will help you a lot, okay, and direct you to answer the questions, okay. Some examiners, the instructions, some of them say you can ask for tracing paper. You can, if you do extra work on an extra paper, you need to do something with it. These are stuff, whether you should put your index number or identification number or whatever they call it now, okay. These are things you should be told. But assuming you were told and you were not listening, read the instructions, okay, so that you won't later, you don't lose your paper if you did work on extra sheets, okay. Now, example, simplify fully, okay, this equation here, that one, okay. So you have 3y to the power 4 times 2x times 5x squared times y cubed. So I'm going to put the y's and x together. Because I'm not adding, it's easy because I can add everything, I can multiply everything together, okay. So look, I bring the y cube to 3y4, so I have 3y to the power 4 times y to the power 3 times 2x times 5x squared. So if I do the y's right, I have 3y to the power 7, okay, y to the power 4, y to the power 3 becomes y to the power 7, okay. Indices, I ask you to put it on your flashcard, okay. If you can't remember, it's on your flashcard, so you just go and revise it now and then come back and continue watching, okay. Now 10x times 5x squared will be 10x cubed. Because we are timesing, if we're adding, this is where we'll stop. Because we are timesing, 3 times 10 is 30. Then we have s cubed and then y to the power 7, okay. You can also have 30 y to the power 7 s cubed, okay. But normally when I'm solving algebra, because x in the alphabetical order comes before y, I try to put so if I'm solving between a and b, I'll leave my answer A first before B. So x before y, so my answer is x cubed y 7. I could also write y to the power 7 x cubed. It's the same thing. So I've simplified fully. So that will be my answer. Okay. There. The B part says expand and simplify. Okay. I think tomorrow's starters, I'll use the starter to do some work on expand and simplify, or I'll use it for another thing linking to algebra. Okay, but I need to maybe help you with some of these. Okay, because so far we've used the algebra equation, the quadratic equation, to solve from this point back here. Okay, but I need to show you how you can use this, or how you can use this to get back to here. Okay, I think I'll do a video on that. Okay, let's expand. So x here will multiply everything in this bracket. Minus 3 will multiply everything in this bracket. It's a little bit of what we've just done in the starters. So x times x will be x squared. X times 7 will be 7x plus 7x. Minus 3 times x will be minus 3x. Minus 3 times plus 7 will be minus 21. Remember integers, okay? So now we have x squared. 7x minus 3x will be 4x, okay? Minus 21. Assuming we're multiplying, we could put all together, but because we are adding and subtracting, we need to separate the x squared from the x and from the integer. Okay, so that is the next one. This was a question in one of your Gcse papers. C. Solve x plus 2 and then x minus 8 equals 0. Okay, what this means is x plus 2 equals 0, or x minus 8 equals 0. So you are going to get two values of x. Okay, so x plus 2 equals 0. It means x is minus 2, because if you put x minus 2 in place of x, you get 0. X minus 8 equals 0. It implies x equals 8, because 8 minus 8 equals 0. Okay, so we've done this third part. Okay, so you see how easy it is. Meanwhile, these questions are in the higher paper, and some foundation students can do this. Okay, the next question: factorize 6x y squared plus 8x squared y. Okay, factorize means bring the common factor out. Okay, so if you look at 6xy squared, I can bring 2xy. Okay, and then I'm left with 3y. Because if I multiply 3y by this, I'll go back to this place. So 3y times this will be 6xy squared, which is that. Okay, then the same 2xy, you need to bring a factor that can simply factorize both, not just the first part. The same 2xy, if I use that, I have 4, okay, there'll be 1x left and there'll be no y. Now if I multiply back, I'll have 8x squared y. So if you are not sure, after factorizing, just quickly multiply back. So I factorize, and that is my answer there. Okay, so in a short space of time, I've answered 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Whatever there is mark they are given, I can get all of that. Okay, and this is where you don't have to rush, because there's no point rushing or looking at the question and like, oh, it's algebra, I don't want to do algebra. You shouldn't be intimidated. You should be able to just revise, get a good night's sleep, go to the exam room, okay, open your mind, okay, and then solve the question. Some of these questions, you've done them over and over again. It might be that in this question, for example, they won't give you y and x, they will give you s and t. So don't say that I'm used to solving y and x, simplifying y and s, and it's s and t, so I'm confused. It's the same process. Now let's look at another question here, okay, which is not algebra, but it just help you to think a little bit. In the last Black Friday sale, the normal price of a garment, okay, some countries will say garment, some countries will say clothes, some countries will say dress, okay, depending on the shop, okay. So the normal price of a garment or an attire or a dress is reduced, was reduced by 25%. Okay. So the first reduction, it was 25%. The garment sale price is then reduced further by 10%. Okay, so they reduce it by 25%. Maybe they didn't get the sale target they want, and then the store manager or the attendant slash the price by another £10. The new garment now is 80%. Okay, £80, not 80%. So first reduction 25% of the original price. Second reduction £10, okay, from the reduced 25%. Now an attendant sees you in the store, okay, a shop attendant, and he says that, oh, the price now is 1/3 less than the normal price. So the question says, show that this attendant is right. Okay, so it means they've slashed it by 1/3. Okay, Now, the first reduction, okay, we are solving it, is by 25% to get, and then the second reduction is by £10. So what it means is if you add £10 to the £80, then the 25% first reduction was £90. So they first reduced it and it was £90 by 25%. Okay, so I'm going to find 25%. So if they reduce it by 25%, then this £90, okay, is 75%. Okay, so if 75% will be £90. Okay, before the £10 came off, they reduced it by 25%. Okay, so the £90 is equivalent to 75%. So 100%, I'm going to use what I've learned to solve for the 100%. So 100 times 90, you remember we did a video and I said you can use cross multiply here. So 100 times 100 here times £90 divided by 75%. So what it means is the original price was £120. Okay, so the original price now is £120. That is what we know. If we go by the 25% reduction. Now, 1/3 of £120 will be £40. Okay, if you take £40 from £120 there, you have £80. Okay, which is 1/3, okay, of the £120. £40 you can see is 1/3 of £120. That means if you divide £120 into 3 parts, you are going to get £40 here. Okay, you are going to get £40. So basically, the attendant is right. The original price was £120, and then they reduced it by 25% to £90, and then it didn't sell outright, so they've given it a further reduction of £10. So now you can get it for £80, even though the original price was £120. Okay, so these questions are not, some might not be straightforward, but if you take your time and you think about it and you revise and learn the topics well, you should be able to at least get the marks you want to get a C or a B. Okay, and just as I said, don't rush through the questions. Take your time and look at it and ask yourself, what are in the question and what have I learned to help me solve this question. because this question here, you know about percentages, okay, and then there are other ways you can solve, but for explanation reasons I've chosen to explain it to you this way, okay, because if you are somebody who goes to the shop a lot, this will make a lot of sense to you, okay. So now you have just answered the question for 2 to 3 marks, okay. We can push you up the next grade boundary. Thank you very much for watching our video today, and I'll see you in the next.